Celebrate Valentine's Day with sweet love stories. Provo City Librarian Joella Bagshaw is here, and she's going to share 6 Valentine's Day books to add to your family collection. And it's so nice to meet you. I was telling you I adore books, and you said these are all fairly new.
Yes, these are all 6 books that have been published within the last 3 years, and they're very popular at our library. The first book I have to share with you is First Valentine, and it's about a young child who is excited to make their very first Valentine, so they start snipping out shapes, and they can't make a heart. So they make a circle and a square and a rectangle and a triangle, and the child is just beyond frustrated because she's just like, I can't do it. And she throws everything on the floor, and lo and behold, all the shapes land together in a heart. And she decides to glue it together and make her first Valentine.
Well, those illustrations are really cute. First Valentine. Okay, and up next is The House of Love.
This is a very sweet one, especially for people who just want that, like a hug in a book, basically. And it's about a large Italian family who's very poor and can't spend a lot of money doing lots of things. And the youngest daughter in the family is named Mia, and she decides to make Valentines for all of her brothers and sisters and her mom and dad. And then at the end, she's like, oh, but nobody made me a Valentine. Does anybody love me as well? And it's just one of those sweet Valentine books that you're like, oh, there's goodness in the world.
I am loving all of the illustrations in these too, all really great picture books that you've brought. The next one, How to Send a Hug.
Oh my goodness, this is a fun one. And it's about a little girl named Gertie, and she loves giving hugs, and she's really good at giving hugs. But the one person she really wants to give a hug to is her grandma, who lives far away. So she decides to send a letter to her grandma, and she decides that this letter could be a hug. And the hardest part about sending a hug is waiting for a hug to come back in return. One of those hugs in a mail type of a thing that you can give for showing love to those that are far away.
Well, I love that, and it could be a prompt for another activity with your kids where you do send a letter to grandma, right?
Exactly.
Okay, the next one, Porcupine Cupid.
Oh my gosh, this is a hilarious book. If you have someone who loves laughing as well as reading books, this is the one that you're gonna pick. It's about a porcupine who is in love with the idea of Cupid. And Cupid has arrows and goes around and shoots everyone and makes them fall in love, right? So Porcupine pulls a quill out and goes around and pokes all of the forest animals, and they all get really annoyed, and they decide to make to have a town meeting to decide what to do about the porcupine problem. And at the town meeting, all of the animals fall in love with each other. So it actually works. And then there's a little twist ending at the end that's kind of fun as well.
That is fun. And this looks like a fun twist too. Turkey's Valentine Surprise. Is this like mixing up with Thanksgiving?
So it's part of a series. So the series started with Turkey trying to disguise himself so he wouldn't get eaten at Thanksgiving. But Farmer Jake's favorite turkey is still on the farm, and he gets a secret admirer Valentine and decides he wants to give out secret admirer Valentines. So he disguises himself as a cat and a dog and a frog and owl as he tries to give all of his animal friends Valentines, and everyone knows who he is, so he has to figure out a slyer way to put together a Valentine for all of the barnyard animals.
Such original, inventive ideas. And the last one, Viking in Love.
So this one's about a Viking named Stig who's afraid of the sea, but there's a Viking that's on the sea named Ingrid who he's in love with. So it's all about him trying to get a message to Ingrid, and he just can't because he doesn't want to be in the sea. And eventually they are able to find a little bit of Viking love. So
I love it, and I love how you've described these, Joella. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Happy reading.
Happy reading.